flossy friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. I go by Chinook Crafter here and on Instagram. My pronouns are she, her, and this is my flosstube channel where I talk about mostly cross stitch, sometimes other things. Today will be all about cross stitch because it's been a hot minute since I filmed. I think end of September was when I did episode 12, and that's not even true. I filmed an episode 13 in October and didn't post it. I had really bad lighting. This guy was such a menace, and I was just like going a mile a minute, and when I was editing it I was like, this is awful. I'm not happy with this, and then I just didn't have time to reshoot. And then all of a sudden it's December and you're like, where did the time go? I still don't know where the time went. Well, actually I know where the time went. If you don't know, I have two young kids. I have a 10-month-old and, oh gosh, she's not quite 2.5, like 27 months, 28 months, I don't know. This is where we're at, right? So my life is very busy on the day-to-day with young children. And my young children have given me COVID, and the baby has cut 5 teeth in the space of 4 weeks, 5 weeks. It has been a time. It has been a very busy time. And also we had a leak in the basement, and yeah, so basically just there's been no free time to shoot. And also it's winter and daylight saving, so like the sun is setting. It's just after 2 o'clock, and like I maybe have like an hour and a half of usable light, so scheduling these things has just not been in my favor. But we're here. It's been a hot minute, and I'm not going to show you everything I worked on in the last 6-7 weeks, because I touched a lot of things, even if I only put sorry, you got eye boogies. I touched a lot of things, even if I only did, so that seems ridiculous. I'll just show you the things I've touched in the last 2 or so weeks. Oh, you still have a little eye booger. Come here, my love. There you go. Alright. Oh, and this is my cat Orfeo. He is a very handsome boy. He is a stray we rescued quite a few years ago from an abandoned field by McDonald's. And he is quite the sturdy lad. Hey? And he believes he is the center of attention. So, I don't have any particular order, just because, like I said, it's been such a very long time, and I don't want to, try and find everything and work on this, because I want to get it done and to get back into things. And I have to stop petting you so I can show cross stitch. Yes. Alright. So, I guess without further ado, I'll just show kind of the stack of works progress I've done for the last little bit. Show some Stitchy haul stuff, and then kind of talk about plans, because it's December. I've got less than a month left in the year, so less than a month. Only y'all know what I meant. Okay, so let's see. Oh, actually, let's start with a finish. A finish is exciting, and I have a finish. So, oh no, we don't need to see that. So, I'm sorry, everyone. So this is the right side up. This is my square for the Palestinian. I cannot say the word. I should have looked up how to say the word. Anyway, so I'll post a link to it before, but on Instagram there's a wonderful, wonderful initiative where they're having everyone stitch a square or two of attaches. And I just finished mine yesterday, day before yesterday, so I'm mailing it out on Monday when the post office is open. And so you have to stitch it on an 11 count, which that was a challenge. Like, whew, goodness, it's so big and chunky. And so you stitch it on an 11 count, and you mail in your square. And I don't know what the final project is. I'm some sort of like sewn together pattern. And so this was mine. I had A9, go me. And it was very beautiful. I used the called for colors, because why mess with what is beautiful? And I was kind of thinking of it as like snowflakes and triangles. It was very beautiful, very geometric, very fun. I've never actually been able to do a lot of color completion, so this was really fun, because I just did the border, and then I worked around and got them in. Yes. And so that is just like a little initiative to raise awareness about current world events and preserve the trees as a method, as a form of cross-stitch and embroidery and fiber arts. There's many wonderful resources, and I'll try and link a few of them before, and there's some free patterns, not free patterns, patterns designed for charitable donation. I have those, or I'm in the process of getting them once I get my next maternity payment in. So those are going to be on my list of things to do, and I will link them below so that if you're interested, you can do them. I know Yasmin Made with Love has a beautiful one, and Hib Stitches also has a very beautiful one in there. Like, I hate that I'm stitching for this reason, but also it's a wonderful way to show support and channel some emotions, and I've had a lot of emotions over the last almost 2 months. It's been hard to be a bystander, and to not want to be a bystander, but not really knowing the best way to help and make impacts and things like that. Yeah, so that's kind of where that is. So that was one thing, and I've mailed out, or will be mailing out, some of my extra data from that, so helping others participate in that, which is nice to, help in some small ways. Yes. Okay, so that was my finish, a start and finish, actually, because it's been so long. Although it really only took a couple, 4 or 5 stitching sessions for me, and mostly it was just because I was getting really frustrated with working on 11 count, and it was just so big. Usually when I struggle, but I guess I found the limit is I prefer 16 count to about 28 count, I guess, is where I like to work with. Yes. So that was really fun to just work on and get it done. Other ones I worked on my Modern Folk embroidery. I got the Morbs. Let me get some good lighting. Yes, there we go. There's some good lighting for that. So I'm doing my own fun thing where I decided I wanted to not just stitch one color on fabric. So I dyed my own fabric. It came out a little bit more splotchier than I wanted. I didn't have black, and I didn't want black, and I wanted it to be a gray. And it came out a little more mottled than I wanted, but that is the joys of dyeing your own fabric. And then I didn't want to just do one color. I was like, let's do an ombre. Let's do something fun. So let me get closer. So as you can see, I've got the first color of the ombre, and then I've got some more of it lined in. I was just kind of, because I didn't do a harsh transition, I did a blend for the two to 4 stitches in that transition area. So I think it's turning out really well. Of course, now I've kind of the wrong light to show that off, but I finished the bottom corner of the one color, and then it's starting to come up there. And it was a really fun challenge to do it that way, and I'm enjoying it. I just have to, instead of just thinking about, instead of just monochromatic, just stitch, 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 I have to actually look at my pattern a few times to see where the lines are, which I've tried to do it, because you can't put that in Pattern Keeper, so I have a paper pattern where I've drawn all my lines and going with that. Another one I was working on, I still have some loose threads there because it was annoying me. Sorry. As my Easter Peter Rabbit. I call it Easter Peter Rabbit. It was in the World of Cross Stitching last year. Yes, so it's Peter Rabbit, and he's standing, and you can see I've started to work on the Easter egg, and there's a daffodil and some chickens. And they did 3 of them in the last 2 years, and I thought this would be really cute to have in my daughter's rooms, just like a little frame set or seasonal rotation. However, there is a lot of colors to make up that coat and that fur. And from a distance, I think it really does pay off. But when I'm stitching it, it's oh goodness. And there's a lot of fractionals, and I didn't really think about that when I started stitching, because I just was I have a piece of Ada, the right size, and it's fractionals. And this egg is white fractionals on white. Yes, and I accidentally missed, there was supposed to be a little pink polka dot up here, and I missed it, and I was I'm not going back for that, so I just made the one little polka dot a little bit bigger for when I get to it, because I'm not unpicking white and white fractionals to do a little pink dot. If it really bugs me, maybe I don't even know. No, it is what it is. I've accepted that. So yeah, and I feel because Peter's done, I've got the bulk of it done, but it's probably only halfway, because there's 2 eggs, a daffodil, a giant daffodil, and 2 chickens. Sorry, I'm sitting upstairs, so my window's right there, and there's a van pulling up outside my house, and it is some sort of religious missionary group that I guess is about to do some door knocking in my neighborhood. Oh god, I'm upstairs. I don't have to deal with it in my part. But I'm just looking out the window going, I don't. Why? Yes. So there's that one that I've worked on. I also spent some time on my Greenhouse of Oddities, and this one hurt me. This one hurt me, so I might go back in timeout. So I was almost 60% done, and then I started working on I think it's the exploding tree or something that goes right down the middle, and I realized, so I actually had to unpick a lot. So originally I had the whole like the outline of the flower that's here, like not the spike, but just the flower and a butterfly. And I was counting. I was like, it wasn't lining up. And I did the butterfly like half, because it's on 28 count Valor by Picture This Plus. And I had done the butterfly like a half stitch off, and then so it was just throwing everything off. And I was like, okay, like can I fake it? And I was like, no, because like everything, and it was like a denser spit. So like if it had been like one of these guys, I could probably have like fixed it, but it was a very dense section. And I was like, okay, so I can frog this little bit of path I've done and the one butterfly, or I can just try. And so I frogged it. And then I also found out there was like a half stitch off on here that was also going to do the same counting. So I frogged down to about, I frogged a fair bit, and it made me grumpy. I was not a happy camper about it. So I was kind of, I'm not going to have this done by the end of the year, but I would like to get to 75%. So I need to stop stitch on it and not unstitch it. So it's not helping. Okay, another one. This one kind of we'll talk about my plans for the month, but this is from the Earth Day bundle. It's Gaia by Quaternarian Creations. And yeah, so I was working on them. I was at my parents' house last week, well, up to this week, and so we were driving home today, so I was stitching on this in the car, because it's monochromatic, so I actually ended up doing like her arm and a big chunk of skirt. So yeah, I think this one is realistically, I think I'm going to focus on this and get this knocked out, because I do want to end this year with a couple finishes. Yes, handsome boy. So that was another one of my works in progress. And sorry, these ones are in their project bags. I don't have enough project bags yet, so some of them just got pulled out because they were in a big, less attractive project bag. And this is my me-made bag by me. Oh, I just got claws. I've only been home for like an hour, so he's still very happy that I'm home. And my parents have a kitten, which you can see photos. Well, not a kitten. She's 6 years old, but she's so tiny, and so I smell like a strange cat, and I'm getting it. So yeah, so this is from the Sewing Starfish Wizard's Inventories Stitch Along. I am 10% done, and I'm not even done the wizard. I love this guy. I really do, but I just need to get him. I've set myself up like, I need to get the wizard done before I do any of the motifs. And then, there's a lot of like shaded block stitching, and so I do that, and I'm like, well, okay, I'm kind of bored of working the same color, and so then I move on to other things. I also did a slight skin conversion on him, not too crazy, a couple shades darker. I wanted him to be a more, oh god, what's the right way to, I want him to look more like Cantonese, Chinese, Asian than white, and that was just so, I like to try and do skin conversions, even if it's just a small thing, just to have like more diversity and inclusion. The DMC lines for this really, really stink for doing skin, so I can see why if you find a good color combo that you just stick to it, because they suck. They really stink. But I do want to have a whole wall of wizards. I have a whole bunch of wizard patterns, and this one was an easy one because it was like less than 50 stitches to change the face. Some of my bigger ones, I don't know if I will change the face because there is not a readily made conversion for it, and I don't want to be unpicking and spending a lot of time fixing mistakes. So, the small wins where I can fit them in. So yeah, that's where he's at. I'm not really, I try and pick him up once a week, and we'll see how, plug along on that. So that is that one. Oh, here's a project bag tip. Makeup bags. So my sister used to work for Clinique when, like a decade ago, so they always had gifts with purchase, so she'd buy them. So she collected quite a few makeup bags. And they are perfect for smalls. And they're so cute and fun. So like they don't fit the Q-snap or hoop or anything, but if you just want to organize your whips, they're great. That's my hot tip of the day. Ugh. Okay, oh dear, I've got, 1 second, I've got some floss coming through the zipper. That's not great. Okay, so, oh, sorry. Okay, beg my pardon. I did some more work on this one. This is just, no pattern, nothing about it, just something I'm working on. It is, I call it my Spooky Moon Babe. And not really exciting. It's a lot of full coverage back. I probably should have done it on black and not the pretty one I did. But I did not know then when I started that it was going to be like that. And so I just sit and stitch black and hate my life. But it is okay. I guess I'll show it off a little bit more. So that's, yeah, so just there. I'm getting near to the bottom of it though, and then I can just, you know, then there'll be some more purple, want more purple stitches in, so that can be more fun. But that's another one that's just going at its own pace. I'm sorry. Ugh. He was just aggressively rubbing my face, and so now I've got like cat hair in my face and nose, and so it's now starting to irritate me. Hey, handsome. Alright, this one I did some good work on the other day. This is Starry Moth. It was in a recent Just Cross Stitch magazine, and it's designed by the Blue Flower, who I love. And so this is my progress on that. I've almost got, I'm doing the specialty stitches last. I've almost got the full wing. And can I get, there we go. So I'm trying to, I dyed the fabric myself, so I'm trying to like not wash it out so you can kind of see. Because I really liked what the model was stitched on, so I was trying to recreate that. So yeah, it's just a nice pretty purple. And it has the moth, and it has like a quote and a border. And yeah, just, so it's my work on that. That one I don't know if I'll finish in December, but I think I'll finish soon if I focus on it. That's the key words, if I focus. And do I focus? I don't. And then I picked up 2 of my bigger works in progress. And actually, I think I'll show this one first, because then the other one kind of has a little bit of haul in it. But it goes with that project, so I don't want to do it separately. So this is the Namari Tapestry by Modern Folk Embroidery. There is a wonderful, wonderful stitch along going on right now. 1 stitch to rule them all. And so there's my progress. It's actually just over, I think I'm almost at 12% done. Yeah. Yeah, and so this is Sterling by Pictures Plus, I think, and Mythical by Threadworks. And this is like one I just really enjoy working on, so I've been spending time on it. I meant to post a picture on Instagram every time I hit 5%, but I hit 5% during a little Zoom meetup, and I wasn't going to stop, and so you'll see it at 15%. And then I've got my other big one. Let me just pull this all out. Oh, my little project bag. This one is from Heidi's Handmade. She's on Instagram, flosstube, and Etsy. Just a nice little vinyl bag. I just really like the daisies on it. I've got 3 from her, and I enjoy them greatly. Okay, so we're kicking my claws. Hey, that's my... Okay, somebody is pointing to leave, and I will kick you out. Okay, so this is the Heart Sampler by Bad Vibes Only on Etsy, and then we have a stitch along for it. Big Bad Hearts stitch along, because it's just called the Heart Sampler. Oop. Sorry, this one was also, I did do some frogging the other day, so I was a little bit upset. So this is on Blush by Atomic Ranch, so it's a very, very pale pink. And this is my progress on it so far. And it's kind of hard to show. It shows better in photos. But my goal for this one is to use a whole bunch of different overdyed flosses. Kind of to make it a sampler of red and pink flosses as well. Because there's a lot of geometric motifs. There's a lot of just little pretties. And don't you lick my overdyed floss. So yes, that was what I was saying. And so I thought that'd be fun. So then I saw Rat Fit Stitches on Instagram, which I've mentioned before. And they did theirs, and they also added in some blues and purples. So I was like, okay, I'm working on it. I haven't got to the blues and purples yet, but that is on my list of things to do. So I started off simple because I had a purchase from Leo and Roxy for my 100 owls, which I haven't touched in a little bit. So I had a purchase from them. So, and they had at the time a sampler of like a gradient of red to pink floss. I need to get like one of those little rings for it. And so I picked that up because that was perfect for fitting the first goal. So these are the Leo and Roxy flosses. And again, I kind of show this on Instagram all the time, so you can kind of see a much better lighting. So there was 6 of these. So I started with those. And then, but like I said, I wanted this to be a sampler of a bunch of different flosses. Not that Leo and Roxy isn't great to work with, just I wanted it to be more. And so I had to go to my local needlework shop, which is traditional. Well, I have 3. Lucky, I'm spoiled for choices. Traditional Stitches is the one that's closest to me, and I had to go there because I'm participating in a swap, the Bookish Bestie swap, and so I need to get like a little something to toss into my package. So while I was there, I was like, I'm gonna get some more flosses. So I got I've used it, so it's kind of tangled. The Romy's Creations Red Passion, which is what I was doing the rib cage bit in. I picked up this Threadworks. It's Samsung. It's white with like these like light creamy brown tones in it, and I'm going to use that for the rib cage, and then just have a whole bunch left over. But you know, stash accumulation. And then I picked up Classic Colorworks Bing Cherry, which for most people this is probably, let's see, yes. Because I'm going in with no rhyme or reason. I'm just kind of picking it as each motif and trying to space things out so it's not like the same. And then I'd gotten a bunch of floss at a garage sale last year, and I was working on updating my the Stitchery, which is a wonderful, wonderful Notion template database by Nati, and I will make sure I put in a link because it is fantastic. And I was working on updating it, and I have a box of like flosses and things I've kind of gotten from garage sales this summer, and they're just not. They're not like not classic brands. You know, it's not like DMC. I thought this is DMC, right? But they're not in the main line, so I kind of have that as a box of a to deal with later. And I was going through that, and I have like these really fun, this is DMC 48 and DMC 57. And so they're just like really fun, variegated, like, I was like, so I popped them into this bag, so I'm like, maybe, you know, there's nothing wrong with DMC, so I might put them into the sampler, but I'm also like, I kind of want it to be fun over dyed, but then these are really variegated, and it's like, where else am I going to use these variegated, so might as well try and work stuff in where I can. Okay, so that was a little bit of haul. And the last one is, I did this in my last video, the one I never published, and then I felt bad because I didn't publish it, so I did use the post for it. Because I got this really wonderful bit of stitchy kindness, and then, like I said, I filmed the video, and I talked about it then, but then I got self-conscious about the video, and you can see the sun is setting, so I'm starting to get like some less great lighting, so this will be a short one because I just love the like random half patch. Okay, I'm gonna move the cat so I can scooch over on the other side. Oh, buddy. And okay, 1 second. I'm just going to pause this and fix my light. Okay, it's not the best lighting, but since I'm done showing you all my beautiful stitching, I think this will be acceptable, so we'll go with it. So, as I was saying, I talked about this wonderful, wonderful bag in the video I never published, and then got self-conscious about other things with that floss tube, so I never published it, but I need to talk about this bag. So, look at this beautiful, beautiful bag. This is from Jen of Jasmine's Custom Bags. And they're amazing. They're incredible. I love watching her posts, and just, she finds the best fabric. Like, I don't know where she's buying her fabric from, but I love the prints. Like, even if it's not my personal style, that is an amazing print. Like, wow. So anyway, so she posted this bag weeks and weeks ago. And I saw it and I was like, oh man, look, this one I actually really love. Like, but of course it was just, so I commented on me like, Mal, like, I love this bag, like, darn it, like, one of these days this will line up with, like, my payday, you know, budgeting, right? But darn it, I'm like, love this bag. You know, because I believe, you know, in sharing and commenting and supporting artists, even if you know, you can't buy it, like, you know, recommending it or, like, just things like that. That's important, right? And then, like, I don't even know, like, not that long after, Jasmine's like, Jen messaged me being like, hey, somebody bought the bag for you. And I was like, yeah. I didn't believe it. I think I literally turned to my mom and I was like, shut the... And she's like, what? What's happening? And I was like, somebody bought me a bag. And I had to explain to her that, yes, no, because they know I'm into cross-stitching and they know I have, like, cross-stitching friends, but I don't really... I haven't explained flosstube to them. Like, it's just a lot. My mom's really big into scrapbooking, so she has, like, a scrapbooking, like, cohort, kind of, I would say, kind of like flosstube and like Instagram and things like that, but mostly on Facebook, so she kind of gets it. So that's kind of why I've compared it to. It's like mom's scrapbooking groups, but it's different because it's same but different. So like that's kind of how she's like, oh, like somebody bought you a bag, and I was like, apparently so, like, and you know, had meltdowns and was crying, and because when this was gifted to, when I found out this was gifted to me, I was kind of having another rough week. I can't remember why I was having a rough week, because it's been like 2 months. Probably kid related. Probably. I don't even know. Maybe. Was it when my favorite mug broke? I don't even know. I was having just like a week, right? So this just made my week, made my month. Every time I pick up this bag, I want to hug it and like be like, because the person who gifted this to me is anonymous. So I hope you saw my Instagram post. I hope you see this. And like hugs. Like, oh my gosh. Like, ugh, like kicking feet in joy. Like, so excited. So grateful. So appreciative. Like, I love this bag. And I love not just the bag, but like the thought and care and sentiment behind it. And I don't want to like word vomit and get like sappy emotional, but you made me cry. And on emotional days, this will make me cry again. So, yeah, it's the gift that keeps on giving of my tears, because I am an easily emotional person. And this is one of the reasons my last video one of the reasons it didn't work was because I did cry during this, talking about it, and I'm close. Yes. Okay, so that was the Stitchy Kindness and haul. This one is actually, so, again, this time at least it's not an M&M chicken nugget meat box. It's a old box. My parents live in a small town, and I've actually had some good luck at their garage sales for like cross-stitching and like craft stuff, because it's an older community. It's not really a place to raise families and kids, because there's not a lot of things going on, schools, like things like that. And so there's a local store, and like it's called The Hive. It's really cool, and like they rent shelf space to people selling things. So like, you know, you can go in and there's like a shelf here for this person's handmade soaps, and like, and some of it's just drop shipping. I've had to tell my mom like, don't like, but some of the stuff is like handmade jewelry or like, you know, sweaters that they've printed, and like my mom's kind of thinking about putting some of her cards up there to sell, and her cards in there to sell, and yeah, sorry. And so there's this one little shelf, and it has very few things, but let me open the box. Oh goodness. Sorry, I have to keep this box sealed because it's, and I posted it on Instagram because I didn't understand the price, and the lady who was working didn't understand the price, so I just left my number so she could call me back, so it was kind of mine, because we weren't positive. Oh my gosh, what did I... Sorry, I sealed this box up really well, and... Yes. So I didn't want spilling... open. There we go. And... That's all Mill Hill beads. That is all Mill Hill beads, and I got this box for 25 bucks Canadian. I was crying, I was cackling, I was very, I don't even know what I'm going to be using them for. 1 second. What is... There we go. Sorry. I just found a needle in the bedsheet that fell off of one of these. We're not going to tell my partner that that was here because this is where he sleeps when he has kid duty. So we're just going to hide that. And it's a good thing he doesn't watch my floss tubes because I just stabbed myself in the thigh with that. And yeah, that could have been bad. Anyways, back to the beads. Yeah, so there's a whole bunch. Like some of them are like open, some of them aren't. So I have to go and put this into the beads section of the Stitchery template for Notion by Nati. I'm not looking forward to that because I have to sort this and then put it into a database. So that's not gonna be really fun. And I need to get a bead organizational system because I kind of figured I would access my projects for next year involve beads. I kind of thought I'd buy them as needed and then there'd be like a little bit left over, so I didn't need a big system. But when you acquire stash, you have to acquire storage. And what I'm mostly thinking about doing is I've seen a lot of like diamond dot storage and so I know that I don't know their website name deal, but I know it's on Instagram. It's like Sarithi or Sarithi. Yeah, I know they have like labels, so I'll probably buy those labels. And I know Samantha, the Hoogie, I cannot say that word. The Huggy Stitcher. She just went through a demonstration, and I think it was like the Diamond Dots drill storage. So that looked really useful. Also, I have this impulse to just open all these beads and just like roll around in them, and that is the stupidest impulse. But like, it's just so satisfying. I don't even, yeah, I have to get this organized because I do have beaded starts coming up, and I need to know what I'm doing with that. So that was a really lucky bit of haul. The less exciting, well, it's exciting still, bit of haul. I got another one of the Black Swan Karen Weaver ones I want, so that I have one more that I really want to get, and then I have my set. I was talking to Maggie of Kitschy Whips, because I have Lucien and Merrick, which is the Wizard of Fire and the Wizard of Air. Wizard of Water. I don't have the Wizard of Air. I have some leads. I just haven't got that yet. But there is no Earth one, right? There's no Wizard of Earth, because there's a whole mythos of this, like, enchanted areas. There's a whole bunch of other ones. Actually, I lied. There's probably a couple more I want. But I argue that this is the Wizard of Earth. Because look at those colors. Look at that palette. Look at her forest animals. I think she's the Wizard of Earth. Yes. I only don't like that it's an angel wing. Let's see, when was this? Yeah, there's a whole thing here. There's this whole thing about the world called Enchantra and things like that. Where is the date? 1996. And it says she's guardian of the enchanted forest. So that's me. She's the earth elemental one of that. I just don't like the angel wings. That was the thing in the 90s. So I'm looking at it. It's either I can just skip the angel wings, which would be nice, because, like, hello, how much stitching is that? And I don't think it would make a big impact. Or this is me being a little Coco Loco. What if I changed them so they were like bird wings, like a bird of prey wings? The only issue is that's a really big color conversion project, and as I mentioned with the wizard skin, I am not the most confident on doing that. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's only like 4-ish colors on the wings though, so that can't be too. You know, if I pick some like brownies and like brown shades and creams, I don't know. What do you think? Are we team no wing, or are we team convert the wings? And actually, I know everyone's gonna say convert the wings, but because y'all hate my free time. So that was that, and in that same lot, I also got some castles. These are just little itty bitties. Actually, I haven't even opened the bag to see how. Maybe they're bigger than I thought. These are 92 by 80. Okay, well, I'll stitch them on a smaller one. And she had like a whole set of them, like just like different fantasy castles sort of deals. So, I got this one. So it's like a moonlit night. And it looked like it was going to be small, but I'm actually like, this is actually bigger than I thought. And then this one has like lightning. And they're like under 100 by 100, so they're not like huge, but they're also, so maybe if I don't know, we're gonna think about these. Still nice to have. And then, yeah, this one I got for a friend, so I got it, and I'll send it in the mail. Because it's Wizard of Oz, and then you should like that. And, yeah, it's not too bad. I don't know. 1990. I think that's as older than she is. So that was that, and oh, my last little bit. I've mentioned this before, and I'll mention it again. Your local library. It's amazing. I get all my cross-stitch magazines from the library. I've gotten other cross-stitch books, including Enchanted Cross-Stitch by Grace Isabel, so that's Innocent Bones. These are fantastic. She's a bunch of fantastic tarot patterns and such, so this is just a whole bunch of littles. So I wish there was like a nice little project page so you could see every single project without me having to flip through, and I flipped through it, but I didn't save the ones I want to stitch. These are all fairly, like, this would be a very good beginner gift. They're not overly complex, but like, you know, little snake, moon clouds, little potion bottle, and like, these are all, okay, this one's like 70 by 70, so they're little hoops, little hoopies, little quick ones. There's a bunch of potion bottles. I'm trying to see, there was one I really liked. That one. Lunar Tarot. There's crystals. This one I really like. Yeah, no, so there's a whole bunch of cute ones. Let's see. Okay, if I'm going to show you this, I'm going to show you my sign. You know, different astrological signs. Again, they're great. They're they're little itty bitty ones, so they're not like huge. She uses like the same color, like pretty much the same color palette. So if you want to get somebody into cross stitching, and this would be a really easy way to do it, because there's a whole bunch of samplers, not samplers, but like little ones, and she says you can make them into a sampler if you want to. So I'm thinking that this would be fun to take some motifs for other things. But again, library. I didn't have to buy this book. I got to check it out, and I get to return it and take it out again. So that is that, and I just realized I'm gonna have to edit this in because I don't have it. I am taking part in Link is My Homeboy, Heather Passmore's Bookish Besties Stitchy Swap. And I don't have it because I finished it and sent it out. I was going to try and film before I sent it out so I could be like, look at this beautiful thing I've made, but the timing and deadlines, and it was more important to me to meet the deadline than to hold on to it to film it. Even though, like, yesterday was the mailing deadline, so I could probably would have been fine. But I did take pictures, so I'm gonna fake scooch over and we'll pretend there's pictures up there right now and I can talk about them. I did the Study in Bats by Bad Stitched because it was bookish themed, and it was bookish themed, and I'm not going to name my stitch partner because they haven't gotten it yet, but it should be there in like 4 days according to the tracking, so, and I'll post it on my Instagram then. So I did the Study in Bats by Bad Stitched. It was part of the Starlight Stitchery Dark Academia box, so I like that was a book with bats. My partner's interests, all the books that they listed had vampires in them, every single one. And trying to find a small vampire pattern was very challenging because a lot of these books didn't have like huge ones. I thought about making my own patterns. I tried. I cannot sketch for shit, so that idea went after like a week of me trying. And I was thinking about doing like a little Dracula because there's smaller Draculas, but they were feeling really Halloween-y to me, and I didn't want it to be Halloween. Like, I wanted it to be something that could be up year-round, and not that Halloween can't be year-round, but I don't know this person's tastes well enough to say if that is what they wanted to or not. So this is great. I hand-dyed the fabric myself. It was actually a happy accident. That was originally going to be for the Starry Moth I showed, but it turned out a little too reddish purple rather than like cool purple. Like it was a more pinky purple when I wanted it to be cool tone purple. So stitched that, used all the floss as is, and then when I finished it, my first thoughts were I wanted I wanted to make it something useful, because if you participate in a lot of swaps, I feel like you get like a lot of hoop finishes and things like that, which aren't bad. It's great to have things on the wall and such, but I also like to have functional cross stitch now. Like, I want it to be something that's potentially useful. So at first I was thinking about making it into like one of those like little book sleeves or project bags. They had said they'd like any notions. So I was really looking for things like that, but I could not find a coordinating fabric for the life of me. And like you think with Halloween, I could have found something, but the problem was my fabric was just like the really hard shade to match, because it was a reddish purple, like, so it didn't really go with reds, it didn't go with purples. Black was a really safe bet, and I was trying to find like a nice black bat fabric, but I just was not finding anything I liked. Plus I kind of left that till after Halloween because I wasn't thinking, so then I was kind of panicking. I was like, because obviously you could do it as a hoop finish, but this is my first stitchy swap, and I want it to be good. I want approval. I want approval. So, I was looking, and like, JB Cruz, they do a lot of really beautiful finishes, and like, when I watch their channel, I'm always like, wow, this is so creative, this is so great. Like, I find their finishes very inspiring, because they do a lot of texture and layering and things like that. So I was like, okay, I can do this. So I got a foam board, and I glued my fabric down. Well, I put some batting so it'd be like a little bit fluffy to protect my stitches. And so I glued that to the foam board, and then I was trying to put my fabric over, but my fabric was bigger than the foam board, so I cut my fabric, and I cut it too small. So, because I was thinking about lacing, or like just gluing the edges down, because it's like acid free, and if like you glue the edges at the back, it's not going to do anything to the stitching. It didn't work. I panicked because I cut my fabric too small, and it was too small for anything else. I got a hammer and nails, and I hammered it all around, which is actually a very good way of securing your fabric to a foam board or mat board. Foam board? Yeah, foam board. So that was good, because I just used like the teeny tiny like nails. So that was really good. I finished it like that, and then I glued velvet ribbon around the edge to kind of hide my nails, and like just like a dark bluish black one. And then I had the board framing. I made my partner paint that black for me. I was going to paint it black, but like I was like, oh, okay, can you go spray paint this in the garage, or you can look after the kids? And he's like, I'll go paint it. So, that's a win. I look after the kids all the time. So he painted that black for me. He did a pretty good job. And so then I glued the grayish silver lace around it, and I was just kind of fussing with that. And then I did a dark navy blue ribbon, just as around that too, because I want the ribbon to be the hanger, and I was trying to kind of like tie it in. I didn't want a bow or anything like that would have been too cutesy, so I didn't go with that. I was kind of hoping to find some beaded trim or some like more textural elements, but finding trim was hard. So I think I'm going to start magpieing trims and beads and things away for finishes like that, because I really enjoyed it, and I think it turned out really good. This is like, I don't usually fully finish things. I think my few fully finished, I think I have 3 fully finished objects, and they're all hoop finishes with 4 maybe, and they're all just like stitched in with slightly improving whip stitch. So I really enjoyed that, and so that was my swap gift, and I tossed in. I had a really nice handmade card that I got my mom to make, using your resources wisely, and I put in some tea that kind of gave me some vampire vibes, and two things of overdyed floss in her favorite colors that she said. So that is sent, and I feel free to post this because I know she doesn't watch my channel, so I'm not going to spoil anything for her, and I guess I kind of spoiled it for other people that watch my channel that participate in the swap. Surprise, you're not my person. But at this point it should all be in the mail, so we'll all find out soon. And I'm very excited to find out mine is. We saw a package get delivered today, and we could have started sending out packages on the 15th. So it's like, well, maybe my person was eager and got it finished, but it was some computer stuff that my partner got on Black Friday to let us know if the kids or the cat get out the back door, because my toddler has been figured out how to unlock the doors and letting the cat out the back door. Not this one, the other one, but So yeah, now we get an alarm every time somebody goes through the back door. It's needed, but but yeah, no. So like that was that. I was really excited. I'm watching my tracking for it to get to my swap person, and then I have no idea when mine is coming. I'm actually waiting on several things in the mail. One actually just found out the one package I've been waiting for since September. This is not this person's fault. They sent it to me, and it kind of got lost in the void, I guess, and then I didn't want to bring it up because I was like, hey, you know how you were really generous and sent me a lot of cool stuff and patterns that I was looking for? Yeah. So I was just kind of like, yeah. But she just got a notification that she had to go deal with, and I feel kind of bad about that. Like, I'm really excited. I want that box in my little, golem hands, but, it's somebody doing a favor for me, so I feel like, oh, I'm sorry. And I also... I'm actually expecting 2 things from her, but I think the other one should show up with less issues. And then just some other, stuff I've bought or traded or, or swapping with other people, because I used to think that I wanted to hold on to all my patterns forever and ever, because what if I wanted to stitch it again? I don't want to stitch it again. I don't. I've learned that. I really, as I've stitched more and more, I don't want to repeat my stitches, so... I'm trying to be better about that and sharing, stitch swapping, kit, stitch kits, I don't know, but I have to be faster at finishing those. But it's actually nice because I've got 3 earmarked to pass on to other people once I finish them. So time to stitchy. And on that note, my plans for December, because it is December 2nd. There's a 12, I was thinking about just doing this myself because, 12 days of Christmas, and then Wolfie Stitches, Lindsay, she talked about it, and then somebody tagged her in another thing, so there's a whole 12 days of Xmas, work on 12 different projects, and I'm going to participate in that. I just got home today. I'm going to go through my little whip basket and pick out ones that I think I can either finish or get to 75%, and that's going to be my goal. I'll have to do a nice little Instagram photo once I have that all sorted out. So that was that, and I'm really excited about that because I've got 44 active whips. I did have 2 finishes, so yeah. I do want to start something for winter and Christmas, but we'll see about that because acquiring fabric is kind of being a pain. And so I do want to get the 44 down just because a lot of them are just ones I could probably get done if I just focused on them for a week and only did those. And I do have multiple big starts planned for January and February. So again, I would like to get some of the small to medium ones cleared out, and so I can focus on the big ones. Because I've got 3 of this size, for example, and I want them all to hang together. And sorry, just to see how it is again. And this is 159 by 259, right? Totally doable in a month. But like I said, I do want to get these ones done, and so to get them done, I have to start, and I want to get some of the smaller ones because I'm running out of space. I don't want to have 50 project bags. I don't want to sew 50 project bags. So that is my plan, is to just kind of really focus on finishing up a bunch of smalls. I want to do whip go next year, and I actually want to do 2 whip goes because I'm an overachiever, because I like the whip go where it's just goals of spend 5 days on this. And then I really like Michelle Bendy's her Quirky Quaker whip go, because they're small wins, and I don't have 24 Quirky Quakers I want to do off the top of my head. I don't even know, but I do have a bunch of Patreon smalls and other smalls, so I'm thinking of doing a small win whip go where I get a small project where they're 50 by 50, something I could knock out in a couple lunch breaks and have that little small win victory, and also feel like progress, because when you have a bunch of patterns, you want to work on a bunch of patterns. So that's kind of my goals for December and what I'm working towards having set up for January. I'm hoping to be in again before the end of the year. I've got some new starts in January planned. I will not be doing a whip parade at the end of January. I will be doing a whip, well actually I'll probably at the end of January, the beginning of January. I'll be doing a whip parade, I think, on my 1-year flosstube anniversary, which is in January, because I filmed just before I had my daughter, so it'll be nice to see what has changed in a year. And that's also another reason for me to be stitching my butt off, because I want my whip parade to be different and not a rehash with extra. So yeah, thanks for everyone for tuning in. And I mentioned a few people, but if everyone wants to go give my friend Lindsay of Wolfie Stitches a follow, she just did her first floss tube of a whip parade, and she is the sweetest, sweetest, sweetest person. And she has such fun patterns. Like, she stitches a lot of things that I do, and she does such wonderful color conversions too. Like, she just has a really good eye for color. And so I'm always looking, going like, oh wow, like I need to do those colors too. Like, those are good. So give her a follow. Also, you should also check out Natasha of Britches Get Stitches. She cracks me up every single time, and she is just a little stitchy machine. She thinks she isn't, but she just goes. And yes. And she's just one of my best stitchy friends, and I just give her some love. And Michelle of Michelle Bendy Stitches. She does so much for the community and stands up and speaks up. And she's somebody I just think we should, she's a leader in the best way possible. Not to say that we're all followers, but she has her morals and convictions and she stands by them. And I think that is a business that I would like to support and a person I would like to support. And also, you should check out the Megans of the Long Distance Stitchers, because they are the ones hosting the Lord of the Rings Namarene Tapestry Stitch Along. And so they're fun people. They have good plans. They're fun. And they're also good people with, Okay, no, we don't need to see that. Yes, sorry. Okay, we're done. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to this much anticipated episode 13. And this little guy says bye. That was my hopeful screenshot. We'll see what happens. Thanks.